here we go, circles. So the way we define a circle, at least in pre-calc, is a circle is the set of all points, x, y, so Cartesian coordinates, in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point, hk, called the center. The distance r between the center and any point x, y in the circle is the radius. The standard form of the equation of a circle is here, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Again, where hk represents the center, r represents the radius. So as an example, if we have a circle where the center is at the origin, at 0, 0, then we'd just have x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So if we want to come up with or write the equation of a circle, so it says write the standard form of the circle whose radius is 4, center is 6, 3. So if the radius is 4, that means r is 4. Sorry, write the standard form of the circle whose radius is 4, center is at 6, negative 3. Radius is 4, so r is 4. Our center is at 6, 3, so that means h is 6, k is negative 3. So plugging those into our equation up here, we have x minus h squared, so h is 6, plus y minus negative 3, which would be plus 3 squared, equals r, which is 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. That's the only thing we do here to simplify further. So this would be the equation of a circle that has a radius of 4, center at 6, negative 3. Okay. Next, the point 1, 4 is on a circle whose center is at negative 2, negative 3. Write the standard form of the equation of the circle. So we can start by plugging in h and k. So we'll have x minus negative 2, so x plus 2, plus y minus negative 3, so y plus 3. We don't have r. But what we do have is a point on the circle, or a solution to this equation. So what we can do is we can plug in 1 for x, plug in 4 for y, and now we can solve for r. So 3 squared is 9, 4 plus 7, 7, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 squared is 49. So r squared is 58, or r would be root 58. So what that means then is our equation of the circle would be x plus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals r squared, which we determined down there was 58. Sorry. Okay. For our last problem, sketch the circle given by the equation and identify its center and radius. So to sketch, we want to make sure we have our circle in its standard form. So as we're looking here, this is not standard form. We don't have an x factor squared, a y factor squared equals a number. What we need to do here is something called completing the square. So when we complete the square, what we will do, so let's just focus on our terms with x's. So x squared minus 6x. If we want to complete the square or write this as a product of squares, the way that we do that, and you're going to have to bear with me a little bit, so we start by figuring out, or the kind of the process is it will be written as x minus b over 2a squared, where b represents your value with x, and a represents your value with x squared. So in this case, it would be x minus is that negative b? Yeah, it should be negative b, that's my bad. Minus, or no. That's why I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. I'm getting twisted up. So x plus b over 2a. So our b value would be -6. Our a value is 1. So we'll have x minus 3 squared. So what we are going to do here with this problem here is we are going to try to rewrite this as x minus 3 squared. But to do that, notice like if we were to multiply this out, you're going to end up with x squared minus 6x plus 9. You can't do that because you don't have a positive 9 there. So what you do instead here, so if we take what we have, if what we do is we add 9 there, and if we add 9 to the left side, you have to add 9 to the right side. Now what we can do is we can factor this out. It would factor into x minus 3 times x minus 3, or essentially x minus 3 squared, which is the first part of our standard form. And if you're wondering, kind of the quick way to do this, so it's always x plus b over 2a. And this value here, so what you end up adding is always b over 2a squared. So -3 squared, which would be 9. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here. So with our y values, so when we're completing the square with y, we have y squared minus 2y. So in this case, b over 2a would be -2 over 2 times 1, which is just -1. So that means we'll have y plus b over 2a, or y minus 1 squared. To do so, we need to be able to add b over 2a squared, or add -1 squared, so just add 1. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add 1 to both sides, so that now over here, we can write that as y minus 1 squared. And let's subtract 6 from both sides. So we'll have 10 here, minus 6 is 4. So there we have it. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 4. So in this case, it says identify the center and radius. So the center, or HK, would be 3, 1. Our radius would be the square root of 4, so just 2. So now if I want to go ahead and graph this, I have a center at 3, 1. So 3, 1 would be my center. My radius is 2, so I go, just every point would be equidistant from the center, or a distance of 2 from the center, like so. And there you have it. So completing the square, it is something you've seen before, whether you remember it or not. It's pretty challenging, but essentially what you're doing is you're trying to set this up as a product of squares. So what you're doing is you're looking for, so if I have like here, x squared minus 6x, I can rewrite this as x plus b over 2a squared. So b with x, a with x squared, and then whatever b over 2a squared is, that's what you add to both sides. And that's it.